You all know what this is, right? Does anybody not know what this is? So last Sunday I was in New Jersey, my home state, and I was going to drive to my old parish, the parish where I used to be pastor of, in Kearney, New Jersey. It's in the north part of the state near Newark, which is the biggest town in New Jersey. And so I was on the road. It takes about an hour and a half from where I live in New Jersey to get there. And I was on the road for a little while, and all of a sudden I said, "Where's my phone? Oh my goodness." And of course I'm running late, so there's no way I could go back and get it. But I'm looking around, I'm looking at my little travel bag, and I looked in it 3 times, 4 times, as if it's going to appear after the first time it's not there. And I looked in my coat jacket, in my pockets, and everywhere that I could think of, and I said, I guess I left it home. It's so strange of me because, you know, you always think, I need to have that with me. What if I break down? I need to call somebody. What if I run into a huge traffic jam and they're waiting in church for me and I have to call and let them know I'm going to be late or I'm not maybe get there at all? What if somebody needs to get in touch with me? Maybe my sister has some trouble and she wants to call me and say, something's gone wrong in the family. All those things went through my head, and then I finally kind of calmed down a little bit, and I said, well, there used to be a time when I didn't have a phone attached to my hand or in my pocket all the time, and I managed to live that way. And so maybe it's okay, I'll be all right. But you know what? You know that feeling when the normal thing is not happening the way it's supposed to happen. Sometimes it's a simple thing like, I don't know, I like to put together sometimes picture puzzles, with all the pieces, and you have all these pieces, and you finally get most of it done, and all of a sudden you realize, I don't have all the pieces. I can't complete the picture. Or maybe you're trying to bake a cake, and you have all the ingredients, except for you need eggs. You don't have the eggs. And so you can't run out and get them at the last minute, and all of a sudden you can't complete the recipe. And so you feel something's missing, and yet, what can you do about it? You feel it's incomplete. Or you're going to mow the lawns, and you go and you get your mower, and all of a sudden you realize it's out of gas, and you can't go. And so we think of all those things as kind of a disaster. It's a horrible thing. It's not complete. We're frustrated. We're not feeling well. But what if I said to you, how happy it is that you forgot your phone? How great it is that you don't have that last piece to put in the puzzle. How wonderful it is that you don't have the eggs. You can't complete that recipe. It's great that you don't have the gas. You'd say I'm crazy. You'd say, what kind of world am I living in that makes these disasters or inconveniences good? Well, in a sense, that's what our gospel is about today. It's a strange turnaround of events that Jesus is saying, how blessed are the poor, how happy you are when you're hungry, how good it is that that people hate you. And we say, what's that? That's crazy. That's not the way the world works. But it isn't the way the world works in God's eyes. The way the world works in God's eyes is that when you have a lack in your life, maybe that's the moment where you realize you can't do it all. You aren't all that you can be in life. You're not self-centeredly satisfied. And maybe at that moment you realize, I need something else. I need something more in my life that will help me to be complete, to have the fullness of life that God wants us for us. It's a strange way to look at it, but then when you begin to understand that viewpoint of God, it's God saying, I'm the one that's going to complete your life. I'm the one that's going to be the instrument for you to make calls and to be in communication with me and with others. I'm the method that you're going to complete the picture of your life, that you're going to complete the recipe of putting your life together and coming into the fullness of the life that God has in store for you. It's what Jeremiah talked about in his first reading today, where he's trying to show that you need to have the strength of like a tree planted near running water so that you can soak up the fullness of life. And it's even what St. Paul was talking about in our second reading, because the Corinthians were struggling with the idea that, yes, Jesus rose, but I'm not going to rise from the dead. People don't rise from the dead. And Paul's saying, no, look at it from God's point of view. Of course, if Jesus rose from the dead, we're all going to rise from the dead, we who believe in him. So God's view turns things upside down. It doesn't follow the normal way of thinking, and it brings us into a new way of understanding how to look at life and how to incorporate God's love into all that we say and do. And when we gather here together on this occasion of celebrating the Eucharist, what we're doing is really saying, I want my world turned upside down. I want to be able to see like God sees things. When I come forward for communion, I want to receive the life of Christ, the resurrected life of Christ, so that my life as I go forward will not be like the world sees it and thinks everything is wonderful, but the way Jesus sees it, which is to include all people, even the hungry and those who are hated, even those who are seemingly outcasts. All of us are part of God's view, part of God's love, and part of God's way of turning the world upside down so that we can live now and for all eternity in the love and presence of God. May God bless you.